Right, aliens. So where are they? It's one of those questions that we all ask ourselves every now and then when we're pretty bored. Yeah, so when you think about aliens and the search for aliens and SETI and things like that, you often wonder, well, if there are aliens out there, well, where are they? And I think the scientist Fermi puzzled that, and thus we have the Fermi paradox. If there are aliens out there, he puzzled, where are they? So let's have a little look into some things that I've been exploring in terms of why we may or not have seen aliens so far. You often hear people talk about the Drake equation, and that tries to predict the amount of civilizations in the Milky Way that can emit radio waves that are detectable, I suppose. There are a number of variables in the equation, and the equation itself is pretty straightforward and fair enough, but the predictions that come out of the equation, not so much, because when you look at the variables that form the Drake equation, a lot of them are unknown, and people just tend to put in any old guess into it. So unfortunately, the prediction that comes out of it is just no better than a guess. So unfortunately, the Drake equation itself is sound, but the predictions out of it, not so much. So, going back to the question, if there are aliens, where are they? Well, let's have a look at it. I did a little bit of research, and as we know from Einstein, we're sort of restricted in terms of travelling through space by the speed of light. And in fact, I think to get to the speed of light, you need basically an infinite amount of energy. So that's not really attainable, and you'd be lucky to get anything close to the speed of light, even 70%. Now, a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of stars in the universe, a lot of stars in the Milky Way, even billions. So surely we must see aliens. Surely one of the stars must be fruit to an alien universe or alien civilization, and they must have come here. So why haven't they, or why can't we see them? I think some of the answers come out when you start looking at some of the things here. When you look at Earth, and you look out, the nearest star to us is 4 light years away. So assume, let's just say for now, that an alien civilization can operate the speed of light, and maybe they can achieve half the speed of light. It would take them 8 years to get here, just from the closest star, assuming the closest star had an alien civilization on it, which is very unlikely. Now, when you think about the likeliness of a star or a planet around a star to have intelligent life, civilization around it, what are the odds? Well, we can only guess. If you said it was 1 in a billion, just remember that number. 1 in a billion stars will have a planet around it with intelligent alien life. Let's just go with that as a guess. If we use that number and we look out further into space, past Alpha Centauri, which is the closest star to us, let's say we go out 20 light years, which would take 40 years to get to us if they were travelling at half the speed of light. So within 20 light years of us, there are 100 stars. Just 100. And so if we said 1 in a billion might have an intelligent life, then 100 stars is basically so close to 0 it's not funny. Alright, let's go a bit further out. 50 light years. Now, within 50 light years, there's about 2,000 stars. again, the chances of those stars having any intelligent life around them, almost zero. You know, negligible. It's very small. And that would take alien life 100 years to get to us, travelling at half the speed of light. So I think you can start to see why we haven't seen any alien life around us. It makes us feel very lonely. And is that always going to be the case? Can we detect them, perhaps, without flying out? Or have they detected us without flying to us, perhaps? Perhaps they're way out there in the galaxy, even further than that. Problem there is a couple-fold. When you look at the traces that Earth might be giving, one key thing is radio waves. Okay, let's talk about radio signals and detection of radio signals. Now, a couple of things here. When you look at all the radio signals or all the electromagnetic radiation coming from signal towers for radio, television broadcasts, whatever, because it's not focused into any points out to space, it basically will be propagated from the Earth and go out into space in a non-focused way. And once you get to about a few light years from Earth, that non-focused signal or signals becomes indistinguishable from the background radiation. So even if you were on Alpha Centauri, it's very unlikely that you would even detect or be able to understand any of those signals, because they would just be part of the white noise, really, or the background radiation noise. Now, that happens at about, it becomes indistinguishable from background radiation at a couple light years from Earth. So there's really no chance of any alien life civilization, which is probably going to be thousands of light years from Earth, ever picking that up. However, if you focus a radio signal to a specific point, it could be picked up for hundreds of light years. So there's a chance. Now, we're not doing that. We're not focusing any beams, or not that I know of, to any points. But perhaps, looking at it the other way around, if an alien civilization detected us somehow, maybe they saw the signatures of life on Earth from a spectrum analysis from far away, from wherever they are, and they beamed us a signal directly at us, focused. There's a chance we can detect that. And that's exactly what SETI is aiming to do. They're scanning the sky and looking for these type of signals. And because these signals come in focused and they're coming from specific points, SETI is scanning the sky slowly. And when you think about it, and the billions and billions and billions of stars that are out in the Milky Way, exponentially more than that throughout the whole universe, having to search all of those for a possible signal is just going to take a very long time. And it's no wonder, having to go through all of those, that SETI hasn't detected anything yet. Of course, that is all assuming that aliens would send us a radio signal to try and contact us. We have no way of knowing what in future technology will be like, and maybe we might not use radio waves ourselves in another 50 years' time. So assuming that aliens would try to contact us across maybe thousands of light years using radio waves, maybe a bit unrealistic, and maybe SETI is just completely wasting their time, because maybe a lot of alien civilizations are actually trying to contact us a different way, through some technological method that we just haven't discovered yet. So there is that as well. So where does that leave us? Well, faster than light travel. Now, I said in the beginning that faster than light travel is not something that is possible, and that's because of Einstein and the limitation in travel. You cannot go light speed through space, but you can go, I mean, there's sort of hacks to that. You can have a wormhole, you can get from one point to another point, which effectively means you get from A to B faster than the speed of light if you had have gone from A to B directly. Or there's things like the Kuiper drive, which is a fictional, not a fictional thing, but something proposed by a NASA scientist about something possibly in the future that we might be able to do, where you're not moving through space at the speed of light, you are moving in a region of space, and that region of space moves at faster than the speed of light, and that doesn't break Einstein's limits, I guess. So maybe it's possible effectively, not literally, but effectively, to go faster than the speed of light. And so maybe there are alien civilizations that have detected us and they've zipped over here. So what are they? What would you have expected to see? Would have expected to see satellites orbiting the Earth, taking note, you know, like we would. We would probably send a satellite and, you know, just take signals and all sorts of scientific detections of the planet and beam those back and whatnot. We would be monitoring it. I mean, because you would think life would be so rare, but no alien satellites around the Earth. Well, unless there's a conspiracy that covered them up, and yeah, I noticed there are a few around. Something about a Black Knight satellite. No alien stations on the moon, as far as we know. It would have been another good spot to set an observatory. Something that aliens could have set up to observing the Earth. Nothing. So, it makes you wonder, are we alone? Or is there another reason we haven't detected aliens? And this comes down to the theorizing point of the video. So, if aliens have found a way to come to us and effectively go faster than the speed of light, well, we've seen them. As we just discussed, there's no alien satellites that we've seen, no bases on the moon, no other telltale signs here on Earth, no rock paintings or carvings that they've left for us to say, hey, alien was here. So why haven't we seen them? Or noticed that they've been here? Well, then that really starts to make you think. Maybe it's because, perhaps, like with us exploring the world, or the Western world exploring the East and whatnot, Africa and Australia in the early days of when we used to sail around looking for different places, and we found different cultures, and the effects we had on those cultures was, well, a lot of people would say we had a very negative effect on some of those cultures. We killed a lot of people, almost destroyed some of those cultures. We've seen the effects the West had coming here and colonising Australia and on the Aboriginals, for example. So perhaps they think it's best left, it's best that they leave us alone and don't sort of make themselves known. That's one possibility. And the other, well, maybe it's something similar to that, or there's some other reasons. I mean, I'll leave you to postulate what those reasons could be. Or, unfortunately, the other explanation is maybe they just can't break the speed of light and there is no way to do it. And if that is the case, then we will be very alone. Because if we can't effectively break the speed of light, then because it's likely that aliens are going to be quite far away, at least, or probably a lot greater than 100 light years, probably thousands of light years away. Because of that, if we can't effectively break the speed of light through a wormhole or whatnot, then there's no real way in any realistic time frame we're ever going to be able to get to another alien civilization, or in reverse, no way for them to come to us. So yeah, that is a bit sad when you think about it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there is a way. But yeah, it's all food for thought. So what are your ideas on aliens? Do you think they're out there? Do you think they've come? Do you think we'll ever see them? Leave a comment in the comment section, I'd like to hear. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.